Welcome to this video in which I'll explain a method for reviewing an email dataset for completeness. In other words, if you want to check for gaps within an email dataset, to check whether an email collection process has been done correctly. So, for example, lawyers might need to do this when a client provides them a collection of emails relevant to a litigation matter, and the lawyer has concerns that maybe the email dataset is not complete. So this lack of completeness could arise from the fact that the client didn't keep all emails relevant to this matter now in dispute in a single email folder, but rather the client had to wade through an entire email account to find the relevant emails, and maybe there's a concern that the email collection process was not done completely. Another situation where this concern might arise is, for example, on a large construction project where there were many different project managers working on the project, and then one project manager left, another one took over, and you want to make sure that you've got a complete collection after you've amalgamated emails from all of those different project managers. Of course, it is possible to simply look at a data set, whether it's an Outlook or some other email client, and just run your eye down the list of emails and check for completeness. But where you're dealing with collections involving thousands of emails, then that might not be the best method. And the method explained in this video allows you to produce a chart somewhat like this, which gives you a quick impression of where there might be gaps in the email data set, and that might alert you to where more careful email collection needs to be done. So to begin with, I'm going to go to Microsoft Outlook, and I'm going to use the emails in this folder over here called Kids & Co., which is actually the name of my children's daycare, and I'm going to use the emails in this folder, there's about 50 of them, just to demonstrate how the operation works. So the first thing you do to copy the metadata from Outlook into Excel is you just go into the folder, you hit Control A to highlight all of the emails, and then Control C to copy. And that'll actually copy all the metadata for the emails onto the clipboard. You can then go to Excel, hit Control V to paste, and you see that all the metadata gets pasted into Excel. In this case, the information we're interested in is the dates, so I'm actually going to go ahead and delete all of the columns except for the ones that contain the date information, and I'm going to delete this row as well because the row is not needed. So these are the dates on which emails were sent, and each row corresponds to a single email. So I'll make a duplicate of this data set over here, and then we'll see at present these two data sets are identical, but I'm going to deduplicate this set of data over here by going to the Data tab and clicking the Remove Duplicates button. So I'll just continue with the current selection. It's asking me if I want to expand it to the to the column alongside, but I don't want to do that. So I'll just continue with the current selection, and it removed 11 duplicates. So now we see that the data set in column B is actually shorter than the data set in column A. So we'll now use the COUNTIF formula to count how many times this item in column B occurs in the data set in column A. But the way the COUNTIF formula works, you first specify the range. So I'm going to click the heading on column A to select the whole of column A, and I'm then going to specify the item to search for. The criteria is the value in column B. And I'm going to close round brackets to enter the formula. I'll then copy that formula down through all of the items in column B. After copying and pasting, you can see that most days only have a single email on them, although some days have 2 emails and some even have 3 emails. So if I then want to get a graphical representation of what this data set looks like, I can use a chart. So I'm going to highlight all of the data in columns B and C, go to the Insert tab, and insert a chart. I'll click the Recommended Charts button to see what Excel is suggesting. Just taking a moment to load. Now these are discrete data points, so I don't want to use a line chart, but I want to use a bar chart, or this chart over here that they're recommending looks like it'll show me discrete data points. So I'll click that one. So that's fine. This looks like a pretty consistent stream of emails, but there is a gap in here. So from early April 2017 to what looks like late June 2017, there's a gap in the data. So this data set that I've used is obviously a hypothetical data set. It's just a bunch of random emails from a daycare, but it has demonstrated how you can graphically plot the data in order to see whether there's a gap in the emails. So for example, if this was a client data set and I saw a gap, I could maybe have a conversation with the client and say, hey, did we expect there to be a gap in the data set there? Or is it maybe possible that when the PST file was written that you provided to me with that collection of emails, maybe there was a problem and you didn't actually do a comprehensive review? I will also explain an alternative method for extracting email metadata from your data set in case you find that the copy and paste directly from Outlook into Excel method doesn't work for you, or maybe you've got a really large data set and you want to use a slightly more robust tool. So ReliefJet produces a add-in to Outlook that can perform a variety of different tasks, one of which is called Message Report, which is quite effective for extracting email metadata out of a large data set in Outlook. And here is a screenshot of ReliefJet, the message export feature. You can see I've got it installed in Outlook. You click the Run button, type in Message Report, and then you can open up this dialog over here. In this case, we'll just click Date Sent because we're just interested in the date the email was sent. You then can click the Run command. It'll create a comma-separated file that you can then import into Excel and create a listing of date sent data for a very large email collection. The data that comes in will have the day, month, year, and the time of sending of the email. So if you want to identify just the email sent on a particular day, you'll probably want to use the round down formula in Excel, as you can see over here, to give all emails on a particular date the same time. And of course, this is necessary so that when you're looking for duplicates, you don't get a situation where emails sent at a different time on the same day are not being recognized as duplicates. But as I say, that's just an alternative method to obtain the email metadata should the other copy and paste method not work for you. So hopefully you'll find that useful if you're someone that needs to from time to time assess email data sets for completeness, including for very large data sets such as this one shown here. Alright, thanks.